My oracle decks are most often used to expand upon or wrap up my tarot readings. However, there were a few standout oracles that really captured my attention in 2019. Hello, it's Dawn Michelle from Boho Tarot, and today I'll be sharing with you my top oracle decks from 2019. This prompt comes from Ethany's 31 Days of Tarot Community Challenge. I did actually keep to 5 for this category. So the first one is the Botanical Inspirations. So this is a deck that I really, again, it surprised me because I wasn't expecting to really connect with it and to like it as much as I did. And for me, the connection for this deck really comes from the little, not only the cards, but those little messages in the guidebook. There's little inspirational messages for every card, and for me those just really connect really well with these cards, and they really connect to what was going on at the time that I was using these cards, or whenever I use these cards in a reading. These are cards that I usually use alongside my tarot, so they're kind of to expand upon a card in particular, or to wrap up a message, or to kind of give me a focus for the reading. But I think they're absolutely beautiful, and I love that they have quotes on the bottom too. So they have the flower information, and then a key phrase, and then the little quote, which I think is really nice. But again, like I said, I really tended to use this deck a lot with the guidebook and pulling those kind of inspirational messages from them. And I really enjoyed the way that this deck read, and it pairs beautifully with a lot of different decks. And for me, when I find an oracle deck that I can pair with a lot of my different oracle or a lot of my different tarot decks, that really makes it a winner in my book. I have edged this one in this kind of antique linen color just to kind of give it a little bit of a finish. So that is the Botanical Inspirations Oracle. The next deck is going to be no surprise, and that is my Roots and Wings. I will have to say that a lot of people have mentioned this cardstock. It's like this rubbery kind of thing going on here, and sometimes it does make it a little bit difficult to shuffle, but I absolutely love these images. So yeah, I would forgive this deck just about anything, because for me, these really simple, minimalistic imagery, it's quite beautiful, and it really does pack a punch, and it really does convey these beautiful messages. Like, I'm not even sure, sometimes I stumble over my words, but for me, this is a deck that it really just works well in any situation. This is one of those oracles that you can kind of just throw any situation at it, and it will give you back a really concise and really meaningful message. And I think that's really wonderful about it. I love the white space. I love the image. I hope that this creator creates a tarot deck, because I would be all over that. It's just one of those decks that just works really well, and it's a consistent reader for me. And I expected to like it because, you know, I really liked the artwork. When I saw it online, I liked it. But I didn't expect it to be quite so versatile. That's maybe the word that I'm looking for this deck. It's a very versatile deck, and it works really well for kind of no matter what I throw at it. And I just think that that's really, really beautiful. So that is the Roots and Wings Oracle. So the next oracle deck will probably, again, be no surprise, and this is my Earthbound Oracle. And this one I got the same time as I got the Wooden Tarot, so I ordered them together. And I do read with them together some, but I really find that this deck, this little oracle is so versatile that I can read with it with just about any deck. And the messages are really on point in this deck, and I love that it does not shy away from the more shadowy or harder aspects of life. It's a pretty balanced oracle, and sometimes that's really hard to find, and I do really appreciate that about this deck. I love its size. It's a great size. Love the cardstock. It's so easy for me to work with, and this is just one of those decks that I can just pull it out and, again, use it with just about any tarot deck. And that seems to be a really key in the oracle decks in my collection, is just that I can use them with a majority of my decks, and that for me is always a bonus, because that's primarily how I use my oracle decks, is to complement or complete a tarot reading. I love this card too. And so when I find a deck that I can do that with, it's just wonderful. So that's another one that is definitely a favorite in my collection. That is the Earthbound Oracle. And the next little deck is a newer one in my collection, and this is the Inner Compass Oracle. And this is, again, another oracle deck that is really versatile, and it works with a lot of different decks. I think that might be kind of my criteria for what constitutes a top oracle in my collection, is when I can use it in a variety of ways. And that to me is really important. I just adore the little artwork in this deck. It's a collage style deck. It's hand done collage, I do believe. I could be wrong, but I do believe it is. And I just think it's so cute, but it has really great messages too. It's one of those that it's not really, I would call it more of a neutral deck. It's not really skewed one way or the other, but it works really well for bringing just sort of a neutral little like message to a reading, but it also works great just to throw a few cards down and get a little message. Here we have divine timing with transition and strength. So I love decks that are balanced enough, oracle decks that are balanced enough that I can actually do a reading with them if I want to. And this is definitely one of those decks. And it's such a cute little deck. I think it's a great size. It's easy to work with, easy for me to handle. And I just think it's beautiful. Look at the colors. I love the colors. Love the hand sort of collaged look of these cards. I think it's really beautiful. So that is the Inner Compass Oracle. The last oracle deck on my list is actually, I think, might be my newest oracle deck in my collection, and this is the Tree Wisdom cards. And this is a deck that I think I spoke about in my December reflections. I love the little faces in this deck. For me, this deck is all about the personality that comes through these little faces, and you pair that with these keywords, and it just makes for a wonderful little message. There are messages on the back that tells you a little bit about the card, has the card title, the keyword, and then a little message on the back. But to be perfectly honest, I don't read those. I just kind of work with this deck really intuitively. I let these little faces tell me their own story. I pair that with the keywords, and it's just beautiful. And I love the colors. And again, this is another fairly balanced deck. There are, funny, balance. I think it tends to lead a little bit more toward the positive, but we do have some cards in there that are a little bit more challenging, which I do like. So that just kind of adds that balance to the deck that I really appreciate. And for me, like, look at that guy. It's really just, it's all about these faces. They're so cute. So that is the Tree Wisdom Oracle. Although I won't be doing the whole 31 days of this challenge, I am really enjoying watching everyone else's videos, and I want to thank Ethany for putting together another wonderful community event. I hope you enjoyed this look at my top oracle decks from 2019, and will join me again soon for more creative tarot for an inspired life.